5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hello everyone, this is Joe MVR GRF from Global Rally Fans, and we're here for episode 26 of the Global Rally Fans podcast. And today I'm joined by Adam, or Captain Scrub, and Shinyo, or Steijn in real life. And just want to see how you guys are doing. How are you doing, Steijn?
I'm great, thanks. Been away for a while with work obligations, but now with the announcement of ACR and the upgrade of my PC, I'm suddenly able to run the AWRC and ACR Rally on a kind of competitive level again. So happy to be back.
Yeah, great to have you back. And Adam, a fixture of the podcast, welcome back as well.
Thank you very much. I'm all good as well.
Cool.
Yeah, nothing to report really, apart from playing a new video game, which I'm very excited about.
Excellent. And we've got normally we have Dennis with us. He can't be here, the founder of our Discord club, Global Rally Fans. So Adam, why don't you tell people a little bit about us and who we are, and then we can get into the meat of things.
Yeah, so we are all of us are admins on the Global Rally Fans Discord, big rallying community, and we run some pretty awesome clubs and have a really good group of people. Have some great competitions and just have a nice time talking about sim rally and real rally as well. And I guess this podcast is just a bit of a reflection of that, and just an opportunity for us to talk about upcoming bits and pieces in the sim rallying community, and also whatever championships might be going on as well. So that's us really, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got over 1,000 members, well over 1,000 members. We have multiple clubs with multiple themes. We've got DR2, so Dirt Rally 2, EA Sports WRC, Richard Burns Rally, even some of the old KT WRC games, and now Assetto Corsa Rally as well. And so we do represent a pretty large chunk of the sim rally community, wouldn't you say?
There's a little bit for everyone, I think, is definitely the thing, and it's just a nice hub for everybody, regardless of what game it is. It's a nice hub for everybody to get stuck into whatever it is that they enjoy doing, or I guess, isn't it? So how have you guys been finding the newest game, Assetto Corsa Rally then? Joe, first of all, how are you finding it?
I'm really enjoying it, but let's listen to let's hear from Shinyo, because it's been so long since he's been on this podcast. I'd like to see what he thinks about it first, because I think he's probably played it a bit more than me.
Well, I don't know actually. Well, maybe I did, but like I said, coming back after a few years of not doing any rally at all because I had no time. I think the first game, ACR was not out yet when I did get a bit more time a few weeks ago. So I started off with EAWRC, and then a week later with ACR. And the difference for me as a person coming back who was semi-competitive before in Dirt Rally 2 was night and day in that sense. I don't know how to compare it exactly, but I'll try and explain it in percentages how it felt like getting back into AWRC and Dirt Rally. I was immediately for myself again at 90%, but then again for the last 10% you had to work really hard.
Right.
That means like I can get easily again back on almost pretty competitive times. But then those last 10%, the changes you need to make in your driving are already so minimal. I mean, the margins are so small that the last 10% is hard to achieve. Whereas in ACR, the first rally or the first drive you do, you're like 30%, and then you're like, okay, this is something I need to work on. And then the next attempt you do is like 2% extra, and it builds up. And it's such a massive motivation to be able to feel the progress you're making. Whereas when I get into AWRC and you do a rally stage, you can keep it on track, and you know that the margins you're playing with are more like I've been doing a bit of track racing as well with GT cars. It's a bit there, like the margins you take there on a 2-minute course. It's like getting your angle right through a corner, getting your trail baking right through a corner. And after coming back after such a long time in AWRC, I think I was already there. Like, okay, shit, I need to optimize here immediately. That corner, I need to learn it. That corner, I need to learn it. Whereas the margins in Assetto Corsa were a lot larger. Like, it was not like taking the best line to the corner. No, it was surviving the corner first,
Yeah.
and then after 5 times you can start thinking about the lines, and that is massive. So, I always was more of and it's against rally spirit, I know, but more of a time trial guy, because I like optimizing those lines.
Yep.
And that experience, that voyage has been awesome for me. Even though only experiencing or exploring 2 or 3 of the stages, it has been a massive experience already.
Yeah, it's a real challenge.
Yeah.
That's right. No, it's a chat. I feel like it's really challenging, and that's what makes it. I think is making it so good. Like you're saying, like survival is the first thing, isn't it? Just getting through the corners in the first place, and it just brings a whole new element to.
Yeah, I think it goes on. I mean, it drags on to everything. Like before, when you tune your car, because the margins are so. I mean, you can in dirt rally and EAWRC, you can keep the car on the road, no problem. You can drive fast, no problem. And the tuning just gives you those 2 or 3 seconds extra. Whereas here, you're really motivated to learn the tuning because it really makes the car more drivable to your driving style.
Yeah.
And then you start winning a lot more seconds. And I mean, like I mentioned before, the margins just are a lot larger on every aspect. And that is just a great thing.
Absolutely.
So
yes,
yeah,
go on, Joe.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, the survival thing is very much you're right on there, and I think the tuning aspect of it is going to be extremely important.
Yeah, I'd agree. I think if you I play about with Assetto Corsa Competizione, and I found tinkering with the cars on there and messing about a little bit with the setups, they do definitely make a big difference to individual driving styles depending what car you're in. And for that to now be in the game that we're playing and to be more accessible, because obviously Richard Burns Rally has it to a degree, but I think this just makes it a little bit more understandable with what you're doing in this game. It's going to make I think it's just going to add new elements to a game that we kind of were just a bit shallow in Dirt Rally, WRC Generations, EAWRC.
Yeah.
There's so much more depth to them, isn't there?
Yeah, it was very daunting at first. Yeah. So Shinyo, do you have any other stuff that you want to talk about, like in how have you found the driving dynamics and stuff like that? Is there anything else you want to add?
Well, not necessarily. Apart from like what I said already, it's been a massive challenge, and it's been a massive motivating challenge. That's basically it. Driving wise, for me, feels a lot like a real car, but unfortunately, I've not been in the situation where I can go all in like this. But for sure, it's a massive challenge, and it's cool.
Yeah.
I think, just in general, for me, Assetto Corsa, and I think it's been mentioned in a lot of reviews already, they've really hit the ground running. And whatever they bring out in the next year or year and a half until there is a final release, I'm super excited for it already.
Yeah.
Same here, mate. Same here. Those 18 months can't come quick enough. I don't want to wish my life away, but at the same time, be able to play full Assetto Corsa Rally, I think I might. But one thing that I really have to talk about with Cyclocross Rally is, are you guys rear-wheel drive enjoyers?
Yes, definitely.
And how have you been enjoying the rear-wheel drive cars in this game?
Well, okay, so I should preface everything by saying that I have only done about 6 hours in the game, and it's been very, very limited to. I just did the first stage in the first car, right, for most of it, which is one of the long Welsh stages in the Lancia Delta. And then
Yeah,
at GRF, we've got this time trial madness thing going on at the moment, which is another stage in Wales, which in the Xara, the Citroen Xara. So that's really all I have done. I
So
got in the
just to get
Stratus. Yeah,
just to clarify, Joe, so the first thing you do with the new rally game is testing out rear-wheel drive,
yeah,
because the first thing I would do was testing out something that's a bit more safe, like an all-wheel drive. But yeah,
yeah.
it's an interesting yeah, how you say it, way to start.
Yeah. Well, I did. I got jumped into the Stratos a little bit to do the same stage that I'd been doing, and I did like it. I did find it a little bit harder to control because I was just jumping in, no tuning, no engine or throttle mapping or anything like that. But I was getting the hang of it quite quickly. Unfortunately, I don't have much real world rear wheel drive experience. It's all been like front wheel drive or all wheel drive mostly. Just in a regular car, not any rally driving. So I can't say much about it. I mean, I would just say that I've just been saving that rear wheel drive experience for now because I do really enjoy it in all the games that I've played so far, and I seem to have a kind of
I was
more
honestly,
natural
I was
ability.
too afraid. I was too afraid to start with it because I knew it would be challenging, and
Yeah,
then getting off immediately with RED, I think would maybe demotivate me. But now having done all-wheel drive and a bit front-wheel drive,
yeah,
I think I'm ready. Let's
I
do
will
it.
say the Alfa Romeo.
yeah.
I think so far. I mean, I have my steering rotation set to 540 for every car.
Okay.
Just because I find the consistency makes it just a bit more fun rather than going nuts trying to
Yeah.
learn the steering rotations and
Realistically.
everything.
Yeah.
With 540, I think the Alfa Romeo is probably the nicest car to drive out of four-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, all of them. It's just the car. It just feels so stable. And holding the slides is a really. If you're gonna test your next car out, try the Alfa Romeo.
Okay.
It is just really enjoyable to fly through a stage in it. The Lancia 037
Yeah.
is pretty nuts as you'd expect. I think I want to just dial in a setup for that really because you just get no traction, which I guess you would expect with a car of that kind of caliber on gravel. You're not going to be gripping a whole lot, but yeah, they're not. They're all pretty fun. The Fiat 131 is lovely as well. That car is excellent. But if you guys are going to try a rear-wheel drive, jump in the Alfa Romeo first. I'd say that car
Okay.
is really nice.
Okay, that's great to hear.
Yeah,
But
good.
on that aspect, on the car selection aspect, I mean, I think I started with the Xara because I thought that would have been the easiest to start with.
Yeah.
But to my surprise, driving the Lancia Delta Integrale,
Yes.
it actually felt better than the Xara. And it was a weird sensation, and I don't know anyone who has driven both cars in real life who can compare. But doing the same stage, the one in Wales we've been doing in the time trial thingy in GRF,
Yeah.
doing first the Sara and then the Lancia Delta. Oh, I was actually a lot safer and better in the Lancia Delta. It was
Agreed.
easier to drive even.
Agreed. And I did that. Yeah. All I did for the Delta was to change the gear set, right? And I could get through it no problem by the end anyway, but with the Xara I had to do extensive tuning to make it safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so no, I'm really loving all of what I've done so far, which I said is very limited. I kind of maybe it's because I grew up poor mindset, which is I don't want to open all my presents at once. So I like to save something for a rainy day. So I'm still having fun doing this one stage in these two cars. I'm gonna just do that a little bit more, and then I'm gonna have a lot more to look forward to. I'm kind of rationing myself over the next 18 months, really, so that I'm not bored with everything until the next DLC comes out. So
Not overdoing it.
yeah, but I am really enjoying the challenge of learning to drive it this way. Like I would say the difference between Dirt Rally 2 and EA Sports WRC was evolutionary. I think the WRC was a little bit tougher to master, and when I went back to Dirt Rally after having done well in EA Sports WRC, I found Dirt Rally 2 to be much easier. And I'm hoping the same thing will happen here, where we've got more of a challenging, a challenging environment that's going to bring out the best in us. And then when we translate that, take that back.
I wouldn't really compare the step, right? I mean, the step from Dirt Rally 2 to AWRC.
Yeah.
It's maybe a step if I can put it in percent again, like a step of 5% up.
That's what I'm
10%.
saying. Yeah, that's why I said it's evolutionary, right? It wasn't radical like this is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is indeed a radical step up from both. I mean, that sense that it puts them in that it puts Dirt Rally 2 and the AWRC exactly in the same category, where this is really more like a massive step up. And I'm not gonna say I would compare it already to Richard Burns, but
yeah,
I think it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, so what I'm hoping is that the lessons I learn, improvements in driving techniques that are applicable here, may actually help performance in some other, some of the other games that we play. So that's really, but as I said, with this, I am really enjoying the challenge. I'm finding it to be exhausting, for sure. And one other thing, it's in my in my handle, Joe M, which is M for my initial, but VR, right? So it's Joe M VR for virtual reality, and you know that I'm a huge virtual reality person. So after EA Sports WRC came out without VR, originally I kind of
fiasco.
Yeah, I mean it came out without VR to start with, and it was really I played it and I had fun with it. But then when the VR did come out and it worked well for me, I was like, okay, now I know why I'd never want to play games without VR. Because it just reminded me of how amazing VR is for me. And so the same thing happened with this. I knew that I couldn't play 18 months without it, so I did use the UEVR injector thing, and I'm happy to say that it works really well. Like even right now with the hardware that I have, I've only played with it for about 40 minutes, but it was excellent. And so going forward, I will be doing a Assetto Corsa Rally in VR.
And I was gonna ask you about it, Joe. Actually, because as you know, in Dirt Rally, I was VR only.
Yeah.
I had to go to a flat screen or a curved screen even for EA WRC.
Yeah.
And now I'm a bit used to it. I'm driving actually ACR and with a curved screen.
Yep.
And I'm a bit afraid to step into VR immediately again, because I'm afraid I have to go back to flat. I won't be able to do it. So for now, I'm staying in it. But if you say UEVR is doing a great job already,
it is. I mean, it looks like at first, there's all sorts of artifacts, but that's just in the pre-driving screens. Once you get into the driving, it's really good. I still have to make some tweaks to the brightness, but I realize you have to do that in the UEVR software, not in Assetto Corsa Rally itself. And so once I've got that down, I think it's going to be just so much fun. And I immediately did break that 620 barrier, as soon as I got into VR, pretty much. Oh, yeah. But there's still a long way to go. So for those who don't know, this is just one of the challenges that we have going on. I
think it's a 320. If you do the 620, I think I will stay away from VR.
Yeah. No, it's really, it's very good. I'm having a lot of fun with it for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's basically my take on it. That it's going to be very challenging. It's just so nice to have something new. I mean, for me, EA Sports WRC still has lots of stuff that I haven't explored properly, but this feels different. It just feels different. It feels refreshing, and it feels exciting with how much potential it is. And I think it's because it's come out as such a polished product already. Of course, there's a
Yeah.
long way to go, but wow.
I was just
Yeah, go ahead.
yeah. Sorry, go on. You carry on.
All right, I
Joe,
was
when
just gonna say
you
with the tuning, I found it a little bit daunting because especially I was in mid stage and I thought, okay, you know what, or a mid session, let me do some tuning to improve things, and man, it's gonna take me a while to read all the stuff because for each section you have an overview, and then for each category in that section, you've got a summary of what things do. Now, I think they could do a better job of explaining which end is going up in firmness and which one
yeah
is going down or whatever. But those things we can figure out later on. But it's already got a lot of detail, and it was daunting at first. I thought, oh gosh, I'm not going to do this. And then one time I forgot to forgot to save my changes, and it was really difficult to reproduce those and know what I'm doing. But man, it made a huge difference in the controllability and driving, almost to the point where I think I'm driving like I do in EA Sports WRC now, and it's working because I've tuned the car very much towards how I like it, with more throttle control done. So yeah, that's my
nice.
take on it so far.
Yeah, nice. Just going back to that point about it being really polished,
Yep.
and I think it just kind of goes to show how good the game is in the fact that you've only got 10 cars. You've got 2 locations with essentially 2 stages each with reversals.
Yep.
And yet it's still getting so many players and such a good reception with you would expect that people would probably burn through that in 10 hours and be bored of it, but they're not. Everyone's just still enjoying the small amounts so much that it doesn't even feel like there isn't very much. Do you know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
They've just done it. They've just done that small amount so well that continues to be enjoyable after you've already played it once. You could just jump straight back in the same car, same stage, and I know that I'm going to have just as much fun as the first time I went through it,
Yeah, absolutely. It's the opposite of EA Sports WRC, where they had a lot of content, and it wasn't that polished when it came out. I'm being kind. And I don't think it was just people's hatred of EA versus their love of, Kunos at all, right? I think it's really just... it speaks for itself. Like, we've got Unreal Engine 5, and they took the time to really optimize it. So that's one thing. But again, it's just holding so much promise. I kind of feel that if EA Sports had done a similar thing, where they'd brought out 3 locations to start with, but had sorted out a lot of the other crap, the small the details, and had done that early in development, where our input could have had a greater impact, I think they would have we would have had a very different story today.
Yeah, and actually, on that about the Unreal Engine, I don't know if I've seen one complaint about Unreal since the game's come out. Before the game started, people were really before the game released, everyone was sort of very worried about the fact it was in Unreal Engine.
Yep.
And it's released. I don't know if I've seen a single person making a complaint about Unreal Engine. So they've optimized it so well that it's kind of put that to rest straight away, which is, I think, was going to be the main whinge factor for the game. The main thing people were going to complain about was probably going to be that, and it's nipped in the bud, so that's great.
Yeah, it does look great. I mean, there's still some aspects of the Unreal Engine that kind of annoy me in the way the vegetation moves, but that is such a nitpicky thing. Um, hopefully I'm driving too fast to notice any of that. It's just when you're waiting for the start, and just the fact that they have a quick start option as well, so you don't have to drive up to the start line each time, and you go straight into the countdown. That's just so good as well. All
Yeah.
of these little usability things that if you're going to be doing time trials over the next few years, you're going to probably spend 20-30 hours just waiting at the start line, or driving up to the start line, and boom, you've reclaimed that already, so
Yeah.
yeah, I'm just excited about this product.
Yeah.
A small loop back on the
on
limited content. Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
go on.
No, you carry on. Sorry, carry on.
No, it was just a nostalgic thing. Like, I mean, getting older. I'm already past 40 now. Oh God. And then a game like this gets released with not that much content, and you're like, yeah, like you said, we might get bored with really fast, but it is exactly the opposite. I mean, because it is so polished and because it's such a challenge, it brought me back to when I was 14 or 16. I can't remember, playing demos that were like limited in time, 300 seconds, but playing it over and over and over and over for days on end.
Yeah.
It's exactly the excitement I have right now, like doing this stage with this car, and I know there's so much content still open,
Yes.
even though it's only a few stages and a few cars. So I just wanted to grab the moment to feel nostalgic and feeling like a kid getting a new game and playing the demo.
That's such a good way of putting it. That is really what it's like. That's great. I love that.
Yeah, like when you used to get
good.
free demos, like couldn't afford the game or it hadn't come out yet, and you could just keep playing the demo again and again. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, yeah.
They've done it well.
Yeah.
They've done it very well, haven't they? So on that note then of content,
Yeah.
there's been a couple of little leaks that have popped up online, and so it looks like we've seen the potential new locations, which is tied to, I think, some ambulance skins that people found when data mining the game. So that is Greece, Finland, Sweden, Monte Carlo, and Japan. But there's also a list of cars as well, which that list, they said that there's going to be 33 cars, and that list is huge. So whether that's a realistic list or whether that's like a wish list for the developers, I don't know. But have you guys got any thoughts on the leaks and what could be potentially coming up in the game?
Yeah, so I've kind of
yet, so Joe on.
Yeah, so I've tried not to pay too much attention to that, just because it's like spoilers, and also things might change right now, so I don't want to be kind of excited about, they've got the Subaru that I really like in Latvia or something, and then they decide that they can't do that. So I haven't really paid too much attention to that, just because I've just been so happy with what we've got so far. And
I think the amount of content we have right now is already sufficient for me. I want to really get into this until they start overwhelming, because, like you mentioned before, AWRC had a lot of content, I would say.
Yeah.
But it was immediately overwhelming, and you were like, I can never be best at everything, but at least give me a shot, right? And then there's like 10 or 12 locations from the get-go with 30 cars. The landscape is already so dispersed. At least now here, with a smaller population getting to know the game, you're also on a smaller playing field, and it's really nice to start somewhere small. But go on. Sorry for interrupting.
Oh, well, yeah, no, well, let me just say that in some ways I'm kind of annoyed, right? Because the EA Sports WRC, despite all its faults, I love this game, right? It's performed really well for me for the most part in VR, and I really loved it. But now I don't feel like firing it up, right? Even though there's still tons of stuff for me to explore, different seasons, whole car classes I haven't touched, Mediterranean, which I've barely scratched the surface on.
That really
and some
upsets me, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I've loved it so far, what I've done. But yeah, I just don't feel like doing it anymore at the moment, at least. Right, so that's why I'm kind of, I'm trying not to oversaturate myself with AC Rally too much right now, because it's going to be a while before it's a finished product. And if I've kind of just played it to death by the time it comes out, in some ways it's good because you'll be, straight up competitive right away. But, I'm kind of just... I have very little time these days to get in my rig, so I'd like to still be able to enjoy something else as well. But I think it's so good that it's taking away that ability right now.
I think it's with the. I agree with you guys with the leaks, that it's nice to not know in a way, and I think as well with regards to locations and even cars as well. I mean, the current ones that we've got are so good.
Yeah.
That regardless of what we end up getting, whether Finland would be insane in this game for sure. Like, Finland would be amazing, but there's so many locations that I could think of that in this engine with this, these physics, the optimization, I think no matter what we end up getting, it's just going to be fantastic, and it's going to be fun, and we're going to have a good time with it. I mean.
I'm looking
forward
to
locations
a
seem
warm
good.
Location though, yeah.
Yeah. Greece. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Greece, but I think it'd be good in this game. I might start enjoying it. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah, I think yes, absolutely. Greece would be so cool for me. Just seeing my 3 favorite Lanciers in the game right off the bat was so good. I've kind of just one of the reasons why I'm not paying too much attention to future locations and cars is because they've done what they've done so far so well that I've kind of just thought, they've got this, and whatever they bring out is going to be pretty good. It might be the wrong attitude to have, and maybe we should be firmer taskmasters, and we'll come to what we want from them. From the developers a little bit later in the show, I guess. But one other thing is that there are some bugs, right? There are bugs in and I'm finding there are some handling bugs that fix themselves once I've restarted the game, right? Sometimes I'm getting some issues with my wheel and so on, but they get fixed by themselves. But it's not enough to ruin the experience at all.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. And
I've only ever had bugs with the scoreboard, so
yes, that too.
I've yet to experience another bug.
Yeah, I think it's the same for me. I don't know, although the braking, I don't know if it's a bug. I find it hard to feel the braking on tarmac. I don't really know what my wheels are doing when I'm touching the brake.
Right.
All of a sudden I'll hear a lock-up sound, but I'm not getting any feeling of locking up through.
And how do you normally feel it? Because I have like 2 motors on them, and SimHub already recognized it pretty well. So.
Maybe I haven't got. I need to switch the setting on then. I might have switched the setting off for lockups. That's a good point, actually. I'll do that, and then if I still have a complaint, I'll raise it in the next podcast. Let's scratch that one for now.
Yeah. So for me, my handbrake wasn't recognized, and I had to do a workaround. But people on Reddit and Steam forums had a solution, and they were very kind and helpful and kind of handheld me through it. But the problem now that I'm getting is every now and again, the handbrake will just come on by itself, like in the middle of a maneuver when I haven't touched it. And so
are you sure it's an ACR thing? Because it really sounds like a potentiometer thing or some dust in there.
No, it's only an ACR that this happens, because and it's only I think it's because I'm using a third party interface between the hardware and the game. So that's probably why, right, with a virtual thing. So the bug is not that the handbrake gets pulled. The bug is that it's not recognized officially
Okay,
natively in the
yeah.
first place, whereas other people who
Yeah.
have the same handbrake do. And I think that's because it's really probably not the same handbrake. It's just marketed
Uh-huh.
as the same handbrake, and it's got slightly different hardware. So yeah. Anyway, those are just the bugs, but we should probably move on to what we want to see in the game. If Adam, is there anything else you want to say about potential leaks
Not
and
really.
updates?
No, just excited. All I'll say with potential upcoming content is I'm very excited for whatever it is, and I'm sure as long as we get some more rear-wheel drive cars, which
Yeah.
I'm sure we will, I know that I'm going to be a happy chap. So that's it.
I'm going to put a question out there just in case there are people who don't know, and I don't know this, so maybe you guys have some idea. They're talking about maybe a year and a half to final release, but is it confirmed that we will be getting periodic editions, or is this it until they've got the in terms of content, right? Not bug fixes, but are we going to be getting regular editions until the final release?
I would assume so. They generally work on I not with a set of course at Evo.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. It's like once every couple of months they'll do an update and it'll bring a new car and a new track, or several new cars and stuff like that. So I would imagine they'll
Is
be following.
Evo still in early access as well, or is that a full release game?
No, no.
I have no
Let's
idea.
have a look. Early access 0.3 as came out in September.
Yeah.
So I think that they were talking about what's coming up in 0.4 at the moment. So what's that? That's about 2 months that's taken for the next update. So
Okay.
I would imagine we'll be aiming for a similar sort of roadmap with Rally, that we'll get maybe a new location or some new stages and a couple of new cars every
Okay.
couple of months or something like that.
Well, I guess it depends on whether Kunos or SuperNova is in the driving seat for this,
Yeah,
for how they want to do things. So, yeah, we'll see. I
good
guess.
analogy there. I like that, Joe. Talking about
Yes.
a driving game.
Yeah,
Yeah, very
absolutely.
nice. Yeah, bring the clap. There we go. There's a real one too as well. Yeah, so actually, this next talking point that you're talking about, Joe, what we want to see in the game.
Yeah.
This. I guess we've sort of half touched on that. What we personally want to see in the game, that we're not too worried. We're just going to leave it in their hands. But
Yeah.
in the Global Rally Fans Discord, we've been discussing amongst some of the club creators about getting in touch with other club creators about what we might want to see in clubs for this game. Or I think in Richard Burns Rally they're called online rallies, but they're essentially the same thing. Online rally and clubs, they're the same thing. And
Yeah,
so if you
clubs
want to
is
expand
kind of-
a little bit.
Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. If you want to expand a little bit on what that push forward looks like.
Yeah, absolutely.
But-
Yeah. So clubs is basically the way the Codemasters games have always called it, right? And that's where I've kind of had the most experience. Yeah, clubs where people like the GRF Discord, you can make a league or a championship, and people join the club. And I think this is the way we've talked about this at length, about how this is how these games get their long life, right? It's from online participation in communities, which is what Global Rally Fans is. Global Rally Fans is one of the biggest communities, but there are bigger and smaller communities other than us, of course. And what we did at GRF, an initiative by a guy called Mexico, who runs the Expert Historic Club. He wanted to reach out to other communities like JRC and some others who are big players, and to band together to come up with a kind of definitive, unified wish list for what we want out of clubs. So rather than the developers having to listen to 100 different voices saying we want this, we want that, with some overlap, why don't we all come together and say this is what we want, and it will be a huge chunk of the community will be taken seriously, we hope, and the developers, it will be less work for the developers to receive the feedback that is essential. So yourself, Adam, Mexico, and Zephyr already have started to reach out to other clubs and put together a list. So we've got a bit of an Assetto Corsa Rally club wish list already, and maybe we can go through some of that and what these things mean for the average user.
Yeah, for sure. So I've got the list here that Mexico's put up. So and do you know what? I think one of the things that's just to add to it that has contributed to this idea is that we had on the EAWRC forums, there was a huge wish list of club wants. Yeah. People, all sorts of people, and we got none of them. They didn't add any of the things that we wished for, despite it being a pinned comment. If you can tell that I'm a little bit bitter about that, then that is correct. Yeah. So I think this is getting in early, and also as Kunos have shown with some of their other games like ACC that they are willing to listen to their community and add things that are called for. So I guess this is probably quite important for us being able to really make the best of the game, isn't it? So the first one is a whitelist for cars. Yep. I mean that you make use of that quite a lot in your clubs, Joe, with the special events and things like that, don't you? Being able to have specific cars for specific events.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes we make a themed event, say like a Subaru only event or a Lancia only event, or we want certain tiers of players to take a slower car, just to be able to exclude or include cars in your club or your event easily, rather than expecting people to remember what they're allowed to take and not take. That would be really useful.
Yeah, absolutely. And same for Scrub Club for me, that having I think it was less that, but more just banning some of the cars that there was an issue in WRC where some of the cars were just so overpowered for their class. Yeah. And just being able to level the playing field by removing them. I mean, if you get the same kind of situation, which you might do with historic classes, that could tend to happen. So I think that's a really important one.
Yeah, and then it also allows you to make an event where everyone has to take the fastest car, right? Just so that so that it can get some love as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then second one, forced camera views. Yeah. So that's alluding to forcing people to be in cockpit view, which was a feature that we had in Dirt Rally 2. Yeah. That was used quite a lot by the expert historic for sure. Yep. And I think that one's fairly self-explanatory, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And again, some people I know who were on the controller especially couldn't do cockpit views, and they just didn't do those clubs that required certain views. Yeah. You can choose as you wish. So I'm kind of fortunate I've never really found a view that has been banned that I would use, so that's okay.
I think actually as well, with the fact that this is a simulation game, that is what they're aiming for. Having forced camera views is, this is good. This leans towards having more of a hardcore club running, like the expert historic, and so having a forced camera view, I think, is quite important to contribute to that simulation as well, if people are looking for that. Yeah, of course.
Absolutely.
So controlling damage levels, I'm assuming that's alluding to your car, so it's not just normal, hardcore, and off. Or maybe that is what they want.
Yeah, I think
Actually,
they want different levels that
yeah,
we're allowed to have a choice in club.
yeah, yeah. Which I think they added that right at the end, didn't they? So when I said that we didn't get anything in WRC, we did get one thing. That was that we could choose having no damage. So that was good.
Oh, okay.
And degradation per stage again. We had that in Dirt Rally 2.
Yes, and it was great.
Oh, so good.
Yeah.
Just start having that challenge of it getting more difficult as you go through. Just because
Or even random. Yeah.
Yeah. You played in Expert Historic, didn't you? Am I remembering that right?
A bit here and there, yeah, but not extensively, no.
Yeah, I think that was my biggest experience with having the degradation per stage and seeing it utilised really effectively. That was great there. Weather and time of day set per stage. I guess some of these are things that we don't currently have, or things that will be really important for a club. So some of these are fairly obvious. Services, the amount of services, the type of service, whether it's a road service or a full service, and I think this is a really important one, the type of tyres at those services as well, which again, Dirt Rally 2, not so bad. EAWRC left a bit to be desired in the tyre.
It was black magic fuckery. We had no idea what the hell we were going to be receiving, right?
Yeah.
It was just like random at times, right? You'd be on, like, I'm going to exaggerate here, you'd be on ice in Monte Carlo and it would be giving you wet tires for something, or like things that just did not make sense. And it was part of the challenge, I guess, but not a fun part of the challenge, was trying to decide what the hell you're going to do for tires in the event. I spent like 20 minutes at times just thinking, okay, it's got 16 kilometers for this, but I don't have any soft tires, right? Or if I use one in the shakedown, I can't use it later on. It was just so messed up.
It's really cruel, actually, because they made it so we could have up to 18 stages per club championship, and then only gave us 3 sets of tyres to do those 18, potentially 30-kilometre stages in.
Yeah.
So you've got 600 kilometres of stage. Here's 3 softs.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah. So that'd be great. And also, actually, that's a great point, which we haven't brought out, is that we can choose the individual tyres.
Yes.
In the cars. Already love that. That is awesome. Okay. Selectable point system. So obviously,
I want to chip in on this one.
Good. Yeah, go.
Having organized a bit of clubs before in Dirt Rally 2 and transferring in the scoreboards to Excel lists and data mining and manipulating them, at least it would be nice to get some more help there. First in point systems in the game, that would be great. But also an export capability, not having to scrape websites for results.
Yes,
that would be fantastic.
Yeah. That's a good point. Which again, for the kind of clubs that we're running at GRF, I think quite a few of the clubs have their own point systems or custom points going with those. So that would be very handy. And I think some of the other guys that they're talking to, like the JRC, Expert Historic, people like that, they all operate on custom point systems as well. So I'm sure that'd be one that a lot of people would be quite keen to have.
Yeah, exactly. Like with we've got in the list, we've got things like WRC, ERC. I don't see ARA there, but there are. You can maybe expect to have 1 or 2 of these systems built in natively that we can choose from. But the key thing, really, to keep this initiative alive and thriving is the export tool, so that we can make our own custom scoring if we want to. Just make it easier for us to do so, as Shinyo just mentioned.
Yeah.
Because you're never gonna cover every single scoring type that we might come out with, but just make it easy so we can use our creativity.
Yeah, exactly.
And Rebel doesn't have to spend hours making custom spreadsheets for those of us that aren't so good with that kind of thing.
Yeah, we could have
I'm
like
sure
team.
he would enjoy having those.
Yeah, and we can do like team events, manufacturer championships, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
With, but obviously they can't preempt every single thing we might want to do. So those
Yeah.
export tools, I think that's super important.
Yeah, that's good. That's another great one to have, and create and edit championships inside or outside the game. So that's a good one that club creators would be happy to be able to enjoy. Oh man, this last one on this list: optional club lock-in or invite system. That again, something that we didn't get to enjoy in WRC. And it did make things a bit of a faff, having to make separate accounts, make friends systems, like get friend requests, all that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
So yeah, something I think Richard Burns Rally has it really good, which is where it's just password protected.
Okay.
And you can choose to have a password or not, and that's it. Nice and simple.
Yeah,
and
I mean, obviously
effective.
you could get password leaks and stuff, but we can always change things. Can we
kick people?
Yeah. Can we go back to the edit championships thing for a sec?
Right? Yeah.
So
on.
in Dirt Rally 2, it was only done outside the game on the website, right? You couldn't make events in the game for clubs. And that was fine. It was quite convenient, but if let's say you're in VR and you've got your headset on and you're in game, you can't just whip up a quick championship. You'd have to go into a virtual desktop environment, launch a browser and do it. So that was a bit annoying at times. But then EA Sports went the complete other opposite way, which was it was only in the game, and you now had to have a PC or a console that was capable of running the game first in order to create a championship. So let's say I was on my laptop that didn't have enough video memory and I wanted to create a championship for a club, even though I might not be able to drive it myself. I couldn't do that unless I was actually sitting in my gaming rig that had enough video memory to actually run the game in order to create the club. So the option to have both ways would be ideal. We need that flexibility.
Yeah, for sure. That and that's an aspect actually that is will be very handy to, like you say, guys like yourself who are in VR, which I think quite a substantial amount of people are probably going to be doing that. Racing in VR. So that's the would be nice section. I think is it's got some cool ones. This idea of running orders, degradation based on running order, tools to assign a running order to people. I think if you had multi-class events, that's something that I need to say. Multi-class.
That was. I think I was going to mention that in the whitelisting thing.
And to have a running order, because again, this is sort of a simulation of rally. And if you go to watch a real rally, I got to enjoy going to watch the Wydeen rally a couple of weeks ago, and the first run of cars were all from the mini championship. So you had, I think there was 10 or so little minis. They all ran through first. Then you had some historics. Then you had some of the bigger four-wheel drive cars come through. And then every single, on one of the stages that they went through, first of all, you could watch the degradation happening on that stage as they were going through this little set of corners. The road was just getting churned up. So by the time some of the faster cars were coming through, they had a bit more of a challenge, which kind of, obviously they're not going to be competing with each other quite the same at all, really. But just it'd be cool to have that aspect within the game as well, that we could run. I don't know. It'd be cool to run a couple of different championships at the same time, like expert historic running and then the GRF 4-wheel drive championship running on the same roads or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And the 4-wheel drive guys have a bit more of a ripped up road to go through. I think it just has the potential to just creates such a good immersion of true rally. And I mean, Richard Burns Rally's got quite a few of these. They've got multi-class and stuff like that, all within the same race. And
Right.
so hopefully those sorts of things won't be too difficult for them to implement.
Yeah, I'm a bit
So yeah,
worried though about the degradation thing because it's just going to be grounds for some people to whinge. Oh, I would have won if it was if if my degradation had been the same as somebody else's. Because of course we are talking about the online unwashed masses rather than pro rally drivers. But again, if we have the ability to turn this on or off, people can choose their poison, and if they're willing to partake in some event where they may have much worse conditions than somebody else, then so be it.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I mean that'd be the thing, having the creative control for club events like we're talking about now.
Yeah,
It means that the different people who are looking for different things within the game will be able to they will be able to find the niche that they want to race in, won't they?
yeah,
Which would be well, similar to what we already have on GRF, I guess now. But being able to have it done a little bit more easily
yeah.
will be great.
I mean, can you imagine, just like you said, right? It's the implications of what you just said a couple of minutes ago are really hitting me now. We could even, theoretically, we could have like one event on GRF happening, and and we could split that into all the different sub clubs that we have. We could have, if as long as you got the data export tools, you could get an expert historic out of that event. You could get a special events thing out of that. Everyone's running a multi-class thing with the degradation. Yeah, and it could feel very different from, even though you're running the same event, it could be very different from running a mini, on a relatively smooth Welsh track and then being mired in mud in your Stratos later on to having your WRC cars just kind of tire deep, tread deep in slush or whatever. Yeah, that could be pretty
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
With the export thing, have you ever been on EWRC, which is
Yeah.
that is the, for those that don't know, that's the a website for real world rally.
Yeah.
Pretty much any rally event that goes on, you'll be able to find the scoring on EWRC for it. It has the entry lists, it has the stages. But what is great about that, they've got all sorts of stuff like the retirements, penalties given out, and it's all consolidated into essentially what is one page where you can see the different championships running within that event. So, for instance, Wydeen had several different championships running, so you can click on those individual championships to see where those specific cars came. Or you've got the classifications of cars, and then you can see the entry list for those and where they ended up at the end of the race. And I think creating something like that for the game, it's a kind of third-party website, or even could be a first-party website, similar to RaceNet, where we can just have all of that recorded. Maybe I'm just getting a little bit excited here.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not, the fact that we've got it in real life shows it's not out of the realms of possibility.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and one other thing I would add to all this list is give us some guarantee of having the servers running for 10 years or so.
Yeah.
With the news coming this week that the original Dirt Rally servers have been shut down or about to be, means that nobody can no one can do Pikes Peak, to compare on the global leaderboard anymore. But yeah, it would be nice to have some kind of guarantee that we can keep the servers running for a long time.
Yeah, or even have the option to run custom servers
offline. Yeah, exactly.
At some point down the line, you know that, and then your games similar. I guess it's this, but it's already within Assetto Corsa and Assetto Corsa Competizione. Those games are going to last indefinitely because
Yep.
the community can take the time to run it.
Yep,
So,
exactly.
and
Good.
and the expense as well. So it takes the pressure off the developer as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's. I think there was two others: shakedown parameters, power stage options. Those could be quite good. Um, uh, dynamic weather
Yep.
as well. Uh, so yeah, so some of those bits. Oh, actually, this is a good one. Zephyr's just mentioned. Just as this is a real wish one, but in Richard Burns Rally, you can leave a comment at the end of each stage, just on that gets recorded.
Oh, cool.
Just something really simple, and
Yeah.
that's actually so you could say crashed in the tree, something like that. If you have dropped a load of time or something like that,
Yeah, yeah,
that'd
yeah.
be quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Crappy stage, 1 star, will not buy again.
yeah, yeah. It was the car. It definitely was not my fault. It never is my fault.
The mechanic screwed me over.
They're out to get me.
Yeah.
I blame Kunos. No, I blame EA. Okay, no, that's good. And I guess that sort of we had as a talking point about ideas for community events, and I guess we're touching on that a little bit again here, aren't we? And
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that's what the community events are basically clubs, aren't they?
yeah,
Yeah. But community events could also be like developer controlled, like dailies, weeklies, etc. Like
yeah,
we had in
yeah,
Dirt Rally
yeah.
2. That would be very nice for sure.
And do you know what? I jumped back into Dirt Rally 2 a couple of weeks ago,
Yeah.
and first thing I did was the dailies. Jumped straight in that, and it's just you can use it as a bit of a barometer for seeing where you're at pace wise. Also,
Yeah.
it's just nice to run, not have to put any thought into what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? I can just, if I fancy that car class, it's S2000 4-wheel drive in America. I was
Yeah.
just like, yeah, I'm gonna just have a little run of that. I haven't got to put any thought into what I might want to do. It's chosen for me, and I can compete against other people straight out of the bat. It's a pretty good little system, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Very nice.
Sorely missed in WRC.
Yeah, when my friend Jesse and I we'd get on to Dirt Rally 2, we'd run an event or two, and then so okay, we've got a little bit more time. What can we do? Oh yeah, let's just do the daily. And it was great because there were several clubs, right? There was the we had GRF dailies. There was the official dailies, the official clubs Discord also had its own dailies as well,
Yeah.
right? And so yeah, it was really cool to just jump in and do those events. But then to have everything, everyone's efforts all visible for the dailies, accessible to anyone who wanted to browse them, that was really cool. Very good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good for newcomers that maybe that don't understand what clubs are.
Yeah.
It was an easily accessible bit of multiplayer, really, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely.
So let's hope that we see something like that. I've got a feeling they spoke about doing special events, which I assume that maybe comes under that umbrella with ACR, but we'll have to see what they're coming up with.
Yeah.
So that's. Yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see what we get to be able to start putting together some cool clubs in ACR. I mean, we've got our time trial madness already in GRF, so if you're listening to this and you want to do a little bit of multiplayer,
good-natured competition, yeah,
then feel free to jump in and have a go at that. I still got to have a go. I might start a rear-wheel drive one. I know I keep banging on about rear-wheel drives, but I think they're all four-wheel drive at the moment.
Well,
so.
you know what? If you hadn't done the Xaro one, I would have still been just driving the Delta. So if someone does a rear-wheel drive one, then I will definitely participate and expand my horizons here.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, just don't beat me straight away.
I don't
No,
think
we'll see.
I don't think I can beat you anymore. I just turned
I don't
57 2 days ago, so I'm an old timer
know.
now. So yeah,
You got the experience, Joe.
yeah,
That's people could say the same about Seb Ogier, but he keeps winning.
yeah, sure. But I've been playing less stringent simulations, right? Like the EA Sports ones and the Codemasters ones. And so this has been a bit of a challenge, upping my game for this. And I did at one point think, am I just too old for this? When I first
No way.
was like spinning all over the place. But no, I'm getting into it, so that's good. Um,
Yeah.
Actually, we've got another talking point here. How are we going to enjoy this alongside previous games? I think we've touched upon this a little bit, where I said I don't feel like
Yeah.
playing any of the other previous games, but of course within a couple of weeks, I'm sure I'll be going back to EA Sports WRC. But as the game matures and we get more and more content, I think there will be a home for all the other games that we play at the same time.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I jumped back on Dirt Rally 2 the other day,
Yeah,
and um, I think that that was sort of after playing WRC a little bit. I'd had a bit of a break from WRC as well, but I think there's every single game has got something about it for me personally, that I still really enjoy. And just dropping back into different games, you get to drive a different location, drive some different cars, sometimes even enjoying the difference of physics
yes,
that each game has to offer can be a little bit of a refresher, and
Yeah.
maybe make you appreciate jumping back into, let's say you take a break from ACR and play some WRC, and you remember how much you enjoyed some of the locations in WRC, some of the cars, and then when you jump back into ACR, then you remember again why you enjoy playing those new physics so much.
yeah. It was kind of
Perhaps.
a bigger version. That's a bigger version of the kind of jarring effect that you can have when you've just been doing in Dirt Rally 2, you'd been doing the R5 stuff, and then you have to jump into an Alpine straight after. You have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
readjust a little bit, right, to the handling and the models that they have. But when you're going from one completely different platform to another, that's that's going to be interesting. Actually, talking about
mm,
platforms, one thing that we have not mentioned at all is how we would urge them to bring out the stuff on consoles and have cross-platform uh, clubs and competitions available as soon as
yes,
possible. And I would say VR for not just PC as well. And I think PlayStations can handle VR as well, if
yeah.
possible. Yeah, that would be nice.
Actually, do you know what? You raise a really good point there, because with regards to the cross-platform multiplayer,
Yeah.
because Assetto Corsa, I'm in a little league on Assetto Corsa Competizione with a few of my friends,
Yep.
and consoles are cross-compatible with each other,
Okay.
but PC is not cross-compatible with consoles.
I see.
So I think that is one of the things that Codemasters did really well, was
Yeah.
having full cross compatibility on their games, which again contributed to the great community that came from those games. So I feel like that actually is quite an important one to have when it does come to console, which I'm sure that people are eagerly waiting for. Our console friends are eagerly waiting for their opportunity to be able to play it.
Yep.
Don't want us having all the fun. They deserve some fun too.
Well, including Dennis, the
Uh,
founder of GRF, right? So
yeah,
we need to.
I feel
Yeah.
very sympathetic towards our Dennis, not getting to be on the hype train quite as much as I'm sure he wants to.
Yeah,
For new
yeah. I
game.
mean, it's probably not so great looking in from the outside right now.
Yeah, we're
So
having so much fun. Look at
yeah,
us. Woo!
yeah. No, I want to get him on PC gaming ASAP as well, but
Yeah,
that's going to be a challenge. get him to adapt there. Okay, well,
maybe put a bleep over that, so when he listens back to the podcast, he's just going to guess what he's listening to.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So I know that Shinyo had to go to attend to something, but is there anything else we want to say before we wrap up? Do you want to do some shout outs or anything?
Shout out to Mickey Donald as always. Shout out to Mexico and Zephyr, who are leading the charge on the getting the, what are they calling it? The United Rally Clubs up together. Exactly. So that, and I think, do you know what's really nice? Shout out to just the whole rally community. It's really nice seeing everybody really excited about this game, and it's
universally
nice
excited. Yeah,
and seeing some of the old names from Dirt Rally 2 coming out of the woodwork, and which, you know, is a two-edged sword, because I'm really struggling to get into the top 100 already on the time trials. But no, do you know what? It's really good seeing I think there's been a lot of negativity, and it's really nice seeing an absolute wave of positivity.
Great optimism there.
So just shout out to the community in general. Provides a lot of fun, and just very appreciative of it, you know. GRF and the others, all the others included. So there we go. Yeah,
I agree wholeheartedly with that. I want to give a shout out to my boy Aze, A-Z-E or A-Z-E. He did something recently. He put a video on Reddit recently for Dirt Rally 2, and there was no driving. It was just screen after screen of results showing that he had 284 out of 288 world records in the H3 rear wheel drive.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think he may have had them all at one point, but Baconator got 4 of them before he could get the whole collection. And this is something he worked on for 8 months, right? And it was all in the Renault 5 Turbo. And some of those records, were records that I'd previously held in the Stratos, and a couple maybe in the Renault 5 Turbo as well. But he beat them by such a huge margin, and I saw, you know, to my chagrin, that I was like in 4th or 5th place now, because people have continued to play Dirt Rally 2 while I haven't anymore. So it was, but what a feat that was, and I'm looking forward to him and other people from, you know, the Dirt Rally 2 community who didn't adopt EA Sports joining us in ACR as it matures.
Damn, Ace is going to be an absolute weapon, isn't he, in the rear-wheel drive cars on ACR. That is going to be good.
Yeah, be really cool.
Wow, that is awesome. Oh wait, where's the soundboard? Here we go. There we go. Congratulations.
There we go. Okay.
Nice.
Cool. All right. So then I think we should probably wrap up.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Joe, and thanks, Shinyo, for your company this evening on our podcast. Really appreciate that, and I hope work goes well.
Yeah.
For you there, Shinyo, and yourself, Joe.
Yeah,
Pleasure
cheers, mate. Thank you very much.
Having a lovely conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Adam.
Good stuff.
And thanks for your contributions to the United Rally Clubs movement as well.
It's small, but I'll take the thanks. Thank you.
All right, cheers, mate. Bye, everyone. Thank you for listening.